For staff working in the home care sector, the ultimate aim is to offer all service users excellent support. But what is excellence in domiciliary care? In this film, we brought together a panel of experts and service users to consider how to achieve excellence. They'll discuss the challenges faced by those delivering home care and how these can be overcome. Their discussion will be illustrated by video clips of an innovative home care service, as the panel consider more widely how excellence can be achieved across the sector. First, let's meet the panel. Colin Angel is the Policy and Campaigns Director at the UK Home Care Association. Julie Beadle-Brown is a reader in Intellectual and Development Disability at the University of Kent. Dorothy Runnicles is a service user and a campaigner for older people accessing social care services. And Pat Charlesworth is a self-advocate and champion for people with learning disabilities. Services for Independent Living aim to provide domiciliary care with a difference. These clips demonstrate how excellence can be achieved in home care services. Vicky, who has dementia, is supported to remain in her own home by a small group of social care workers.
Vicky enjoys a laugh and she enjoys the banter that goes on with people, and that's what gives her her quality of life. So we provide support to facilitate that process for her.
Vicky is at home looking through old photographs with support worker Dawn.
Is that you and your sister there?
That's my oldest.
Your oldest sister?
Yes.
Yeah? Oh,
The agency tries to select support workers who have something in common with Vicky.
What Dawn brings is a common background. They both come from the north, and so they have a shared humour, which is something that's valued and is very important to Vicky. As an older person, she's very much with her memories, and the support that she gets from Dawn helps her to live in those moments.
For Vicky's daughter Vanessa, knowing and trusting the team caring for her mother has brought peace of mind.
I've got to know the girls personally. They know they can ring me if there's any concerns. They give good feedback, good handovers. They know what's important to Mum. And it's just made a huge difference. And I hate leaving her on a Sunday at 1:30, but I know that she's safe, she's well looked after, and she's built up a relationship with the girls. And then I pick her up on a Wednesday. And so it's been absolutely brilliant. And I can't praise them enough. It means that I can let go. I know that I can go home and I can relax and switch off and focus my attention on all the things I need to focus on, because I know that she is safe and in good hands. And that's been really important. Whereas I think if it had been different people coming in for short times, no continuity, I would have worried about Mum very much.
The stability of staffing achieved for Vicky is a mark of excellence, but it's not common in domiciliary care. The consistency experienced in Vicky's case is unusual, according to Dorothy, who speaks from personal experience.
I've been a recipient of home care services through a number of agencies. They don't change necessarily by my choice, but they get taken over by bigger and other agencies constantly.
Yeah.
And so in a period of 18 months, I had 3 home care agencies as one bought out the next and the next. I have never been able to choose the worker who comes to me from a list, or I've never known which worker's going to turn up. And the changeover has been enormous, and I would like to see those things improved as a way of making sure that those people who come to me I can trust.
The rest of the panel agrees that achieving stability of staffing builds good relationships, and it should be something that all domiciliary care agencies aspire to achieve.
We'd certainly want care workers to be talking to members of the family, particularly where people are using the care service themselves can't express their views, to understand what's normal, what's usual, what does this reaction mean?
You can involve the families, but actually you can't learn about what people might want, what they like, what they dislike, how they want, give them any control, if actually you do it by doing everything for them.
Getting the same worker going regularly, turning up on time are really, really important. It's absolutely vital that if you're receiving care at home, you know who is going to be knocking on the door. And those are absolute messages that we have for home care providers in the UK.
Claire, who has MS, is supported by key worker Rebecca.
Rebecca is absolutely excellent at supporting Claire with the things that Claire is interested in, her interest in fashion and going out into town and browsing around the shops, and her interest in taking care over what she looks like, which is very important for Claire.
What time have you got a taxi booked for, Claire?
11:30.
The focus is on a person-centred service, concentrating on relationships between carers and service users.
Person-centredness, I think, is actually broader than the service user. I mean, it's actually about the support worker as well. And it's important that we look at the support worker, look at what makes them tick, and we look at what the service user is telling us that they need, and that we bring the two together.
For Claire, getting support from someone with whom she has a genuine relationship is valuable.
I suppose what's been brilliant is that we've actually got quite a lot in common. Got very similar tastes indeed, actually. So it's the relationship which is really, really important. I suppose it's like companionship in many ways. I mean, control is one of the biggest things now, I think, that I feel I've actually lost in a lot of areas. But Rebecca's very good at actually assisting me in retaining a certain amount of it.
Claire's support is very much about having somebody that she can build a relationship with. And sometimes that's proved a bit difficult, actually, to get the right, to get people that Claire feels comfortable with and is happy to spend the whole day with and just kind of do things around the house and that. When I was interviewed, Claire was in on my interview, and one of the questions that she asked me was if I wanted to do something creative or if I wanted to paint or something, how would you support me in that? So I've always been aware it's very important for Claire. Claire's a very creative person.
The agency tries to ensure that service users are given a voice.
One of the things that we encourage our service users to do is to be involved in shaping the direction of our services. They take part in recruitment activities. We have what we call a task group, where our service users are invited to be involved in devising and developing activities which promote the values of choice and control.
A really good service, a home care service, is one where people have some power. The people themselves have power, that they have some control over what they receive during, whether it's 15 minutes, whether it's 2 hours, or whether it's a whole day in the case of people with profound and multiple disabilities.
Good home care is not just about undertaking a range of care tasks and activities. It's very much about understanding what that contributes to somebody's life.
There is, ways that people can be involved in choosing their staff, and you see the benefits. And I think this applies particularly to home care. As we start to really focus on the individual as the core part of the system, then actually people think a bit more about that. We have to think about lots of different levels of involvement. We can, of course, get involved. People can be involved, like you, at the campaigning level. People can also get involved at the level of running in the management side of their organisation. So, for example, being a trustee or being on the board of trustees, for example.
It's not a one-way street as far as the person receiving the home care service is concerned. They also are providing a satisfaction to the agency in terms of their profitability and so on. They are the customers.
Lindsay, who has cerebral palsy, is cared for by a team of social care workers. Elaine is one of the 4-strong team who provide 24-hour cover.
I've known Lindsay nearly 2.5 years. I come to join her team when I finished with somebody else's team, because Lindy wanted me to come and join her team because we get on quite well. And we sort of know one another now, and she likes a bit of banter and she likes to be treated as an individual. Lindsay does like her painting. It's really nice working with Lindsay. It's a good challenge, and I enjoy working with somebody that can keep in their own home, keep their own independence and make life livable and pleasant that everyday people like to live.
The relationship between Lindsay and Elaine is a strong one, an essential requirement if domiciliary care is to qualify as excellent.
What's important for Lindsay is that she feels she has the space in her life to do what she wants when she wants. She's in control of her time. She pursues a lot of interests. She currently receives support from her team of 4 support workers to get out and about. She has a vehicle, and support workers will take her to go shopping, do the everyday kind of stuff. She goes out to visit her family. She also has a relationship, and the support workers are very keen to support that in a positive way and give her space around that.
I like to be in control of my life, and Elaine appreciates me being in control, and she's easy going, and whatever I want to do, she goes along with it.
The panel discusses the importance of spending time enjoyably.
We're certainly changing culture across social care. The description of services where people's response is, I can't do that, I think is being very much changed by personalisation. People get much greater choice in what they say, what they receive, and make decisions about actually what would help them live the life that they want.
It's important, I think, that people have the ability to be as independent as they possibly can be, and that means, if somebody needs support to do something, then that support should be there.
The choice issue is very important, the choice and control right from the beginning, and the person being at the centre of all the activity that goes on in their own home. That support is both what they want, but is support that, if you like, enables them to be as independent as possible, and to do the things that are most important to them.
You going to buy them up as DVD?
Oh, yes.
John, who has Down syndrome, is going for a bike ride with support worker Jim.
Jim supports John to get out and about on a Saturday mainly and get his body moving. So they go cycling and they go to the gym, and I think sometimes they probably go to the pub as well. But the idea is to give John the opportunity to get out of the house and develop some networks and get involved in what else is going on and actually explore what he might like to do.
Most of the adults, including John, that we support have had some kind of support, some kind of care for several years in their lives. So they're used to a lot of people in and out of their lives. They're used to working within a lot of regulations that comes across, and it feels like it's slightly institutionalised. Excellence, for me and for the organisation that I work for, is that there's a line, but it's an invisible line. We're professional, but hopefully our clients don't see it as just merely another support operation. There is a befriending dimension to it, not just a relationship where there is that line that's drawn between I'm the professional, you're the client. We try to make it a bit more seamless than that.
When Jim left the agency, he maintained his relationship with John by volunteering.
I worked with John initially for about 6 months, then actually went off to do a different job and then came back into his life again about 8 months afterwards. But throughout that time, I maintained links with John as a sort of voluntary befriender. So from my point of view, and from John's, I hope, that continuity that has been very much worthwhile.
The panel discussed the importance of staff who are willing to go the extra mile.
Treasure your good staff and make sure that their innovation and creativity is encouraged, that you don't make them risk averse by your instructions as leaders and as agency managers and owners. They have understanding of what it means to actually meet the requirements of a disabled person who wants to live as normal a life as possible.
Home care is not just about staying in your home. It may be about getting out of your home and into your local community.
It's really important that people reach their full potential, no matter how old they are, how young they are, how disabled they are, or how, anything else, really. It's their right to be part of their community.
The sector has major challenges to face, but having seen some innovative examples of home care, what would the panel conclude is necessary to elevate more domiciliary care to excellent status?
Excellence means to me people that come in day by day and work with people, and the commitment that they've got. I think that's what it means to me.
I guess for me, an excellent home care service is one that right from the start allows people to express their choices about what care service they'd like to receive, that they are going to be confident that the services will be delivered with dignity by people who are working with them to set their day up or end their day in a really positive, fulfilling way.
Excellence is to get beyond warehousing so that we don't just keep people alive and keep them clean and watered and fed, but that we move far beyond that and make it a normal factor which is monitored, institutionalised into the system and sustainable so that it becomes something that we expect, not to accept the separation of people with disabilities.
Choice and again some passion and commitment from the people providing support in a way that puts the individual at the centre of everything that goes on around them rather than on the sidelines.